Ale, 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 eh. Wait a minute, you with me, eh. You know the city.
Welcome to Crystalis Dota. For all my Southeast Asian fans, for all my boys from the Philippines, even gals, this episode is for you. We all are familiar with Team Liquid's miracle and how he has significantly enhanced Team Liquid and helped them win the International of 2017. To this day, he is known as one of the best carries of the world. His Terrorblade skills are unparalleled. However, despite his glorious standing in the Dota world at the moment, let's go back a year from 2016. You'll see, originally, Miracle played for a team known as OG. OG, the original gangsters of Dota. When Miracle joined that team, he actually made a crazy run. Team OG won 2 back-to-back majors in a row as soon as Miracle joined. So in 2016, as a common analyst and a Dota commentator, and even common viewer of the pro scene, it was deemed that Team OG were the favorites heading into the International of 2016, with Miracle leading the charge, their wonder boy. However, that would not be the case. You see, in the International of 2016, many upsets would take place. In this video, we talk about the biggest upset to take place on Miracle.
The road to glory has never been longer or more treacherous.
In the lower bracket, a specific Southeast Asian team was able to whitewash 2-0 Miracle's Team OG. Yes, this is the story of TNC Pro Gaming and how Raven and Cuckoo, Sam H, and the boys were able to somehow, miraculously, by the glory of the Philippine gods, by the Southeast Asian power, they were able to come on top of Team OG at the International in the lower bracket best of 3 series. In this episode, we explain how the upset took place, what was the results of this upset, and how it impacted Miracle and Team OG from that point on. So, let us analyze the series. How did Team TNC make one of the biggest upsets in Dota history, in TI history?
To the river, Cuckoo still keeps battling. He brought down Fly. OG are in trouble. Cuckoo can't doppelganger himself away from this one with an axe. A blink double call. They got extra help. The swap back. They want Nurtal. They want that Draw Ranger gone.
You see, every time Team OG tried to make a aggressive move, it just seemed like TNC were reading their moves. They were somehow inside the mind of Team OG. Perhaps Notel was not thinking in par with the way TNC were thinking. It was like a chess game, and TNC were always one step ahead. They played patiently and reacted instinctively, just like the way Goku was reacting when he had his special powers, his instinctive reactive powers. Miracle's Medusa was extremely fat, and at a time, it seemed like he was going to be impenetrable. However, even his juggernaut of a hero, his boy wonder skills would not match up to the teamwork and efficient play of TNC.
The game right now, TNC, a methodical, surgical killing of OG.
I think TNC were just the better team here, which is a huge surprise for me because I thought this was going to be OG's game to lose.
One key hero that demolished OG was Cuckoo's Phantom Lancer, as he used Diffusal Blade to destroy every one of OG's mana, ripping them one by one. It literally destroyed Team OG. And yes, that was the game 1 of the series, but it was a best of 3. So game 2, OG would respond. Right from the beginning, right from the get-go, Miracle would pick his Ember Spirit and he would be aggressive. Team OG would have a substantial lead with 8 kills and 2 deaths after 13 minutes into the game. Eventually, it looked like the big boys, the ones that won 2 back-to-back majors, were going to clinch it. They were going to make a comeback. By 15 minutes into the game, it was all OG. 11 kills, 3 deaths.
Couple of one-shotters won't commit them, and now Cuckoo, Sam, he has to let the Chronosphere go when they're all outside of it. They can move over towards Moon, but then he surges in, he wants to fight this one. Miracle's already got a triple kill.
The goal deficit margin was widening, and it was almost looking impossible for TNC. And as the match progressed, it got even worse. 19 minutes into the game, OG had accumulated 17 kills with only 4 deaths. But the fate would turn as the Southeast Asian gods would look down upon TNC Pro Gaming. Yes, right at the 20-minute mark at Game 2, sudden pickoffs would take place. Big Daddy No-Tail on Tiny, Miracle on Ember Spirit, and even Crit. The momentum would somehow just start to shift. It was going in the favor of TNCs. It was unbelievable. It really was. And then a minute later, at the 21-minute mark, in came Moon's Chronosphere.
Only got Greaves up. Now the tether forward. Crit does have relocate with a 3-man corner. Sam hits it. Miracle wants to try and fight, but they're probably going to lose. Crit, no, the Greaves and the one charges. Raven finally gets it close.
The Chronosphere would lead to another 2 more deaths on the supports of Team OG as Crit on Io would fall, and as the Ogre Magi would also fall. Raven on Drow Ranger would start racking up his gold, and the silence that Drow Ranger has would become one of the most potent skills for Team TNC. They would pick off Miracle and Big Daddy No-Tail right after that Chronosphere. The aggressive nature of Team OG was coming to hurt them. It was becoming their Achilles heel, their most detrimental factor of the game. The momentum had shifted. Eventually, the game would go to the 40-minute mark where both teams would become very, very farmed, as Big Daddy No-Tail's Tiny would have an Aegis, but that did not matter. Team OG failed to capitalize on their big heroes, their momentum. They could not take down the Southeast Asian team. They could not take down TNC. Somehow, some way, some reason, Team TNC kept on pushing. They kept prevailing. They kept on resisting. Despite the Huskar pick on Cuckoo, what really ultimately changed the game was the timely Chronospheres taken place by Sam H, as he constantly landed perfect Chronospheres, especially on the supports, making them weaker, and then eventually catching Miracle on the top lane as he tried to sneakily damage the tier 3 tower. The Chronosphere would come in deadly.
Chrono top lane, Miracle caught out. Again, good timing on the gust. Miracle held in position. He's down. A break free. Tiny. Well, there's your shallow Graven of Chrono Spin. No-Tail's caught out. Cuckoo out too far. Hit by that Silver Red. He'll have protection. BKB will come out. He needs more help, however, and it's coming in the void. He gets a 3-man Chrono, but they swap out No-Tail.
Every time it seemed like OG were able to make a resistant push, able to fight back the Southeast Asian Philippine gods, it wasn't working. Every time Sam H would come in with the perfect Chronosphere. As desperate times were coming in, it was 59 minutes into the game, and Team TNC had forced all of Team OG to use their buyback. So it was a all-in go push. If this push failed, TNC would have lost. But they go in with the force. They do not care. And as they entered the tier 4 towers, boom! Another Chronosphere.
We get time, and we got it because of this huge grow. DC. As like before, we will just gonna play our game, and I think that's it. We can win the game.
TNC done the impossible. 2-time major winners. You are gone. The Filipinos have eliminated OG. TNC have done it. The dream, the reality.
Wow, look at them cheering in the booth. They have to be so incredibly happy with it.
Miracle and Tiny would die instantly. They would melt down with no buybacks remaining. And yes, as you can hear the commentators, TNC have surely done the impossible. They have taken down the juggernauts of the international. They have defeated the 2-time major winning champions with Miracle in the international of 2016. As you see the Philippine players, you can't help but smile. Fans were in shock as the Dota world could not believe what had happened. The story of TNC is a story of hard work, determination, and hope. They have incredible hope that somehow never wavers. Despite all odds, despite the whole world looking down upon them and their skills, they shine. At that moment in the international, it was their biggest moment. It was the biggest moment of TNC Pro Gaming to this day.
There will be a party in Southeast Asia tonight. They will toast TNC.
What Team TNC Pro Gaming did that day still lingers. It shows how a Southeast Asian team can climb their way up the lower bracket and impose their will, show their grit against the big boys of the world, against the top teams of the world. What TNC did that day, in that series against Miracles OG, shows that even in the International of 2018, sudden teams can make their way. Somehow, miracles can happen to these teams. Their determination, their will is all that matters. Although it looks like Team VP, Liquid, and LGD Game are the top of the world, that might not be a sure fact. You see, the beauty of the International 2018, any surprise team can win. You don't know. Even Team Fnatic at this moment look to be incredible. Hey, you might even hear a story of Team Fnatic coming soon. You see, the point of this story is to explain and show how this team, this Southeast Asian team, really changed the whole future of Team OG, of Miracle with that team. Imagine winning 2 back-to-back majors, going into international. Your momentum is all behind you. The tidal wave is following you. You are riding that wave. And you go into the tournament, find a team that is clearly an underdog, and you lose. However, to this day, this is important because right after placing 9th to 12th position because of this sudden loss imposed by this Southeast Asian team, Miracle leaves Team OG. He suddenly just somehow, some reason, something flips in him and he gets recruited by Team Liquid. He feels that, Kuroki is the best captain for him to succeed. And as we all know, obviously, Miracle won TI7, which was a year later in the next international. With that being said, I hope you guys understand this story. This is a story of how Southeast Asian Team TNC Pro Gaming and how they defeated Team OG to force Miracle to join Team Liquid. Until next time, this is Crystalis Dota. If you like these kind of special stories where we focus in and zoom in on a particular story, a particular event in the Dota history, you can always follow and leave a comment below. What do you guys think? Anyways, I'm out. By the way, guys, you can win a TI8 International 2018 Compendium. All you have to do is share, comment, and subscribe to this channel, Crystalis Dota. I really want to support the TI industry, the Dota world. It means so much. So I hope you guys can win. Subscribe, share, and comment.